let's see the best practice in order to make a design for Konfiwear. So first, we recommend you to navigate to the 3D model for which you want to make the design and grab its UV or pattern. To do so, we will just quickly go under Blender, then open up our product. This is our short model. So this is the GLB file that we have done, and this is blend file. So we will open it. Then make sure under the UV editing section that we select everything that we need. So font, color, cuff. So we have all the elements that we need. Then we will go inside edit mode, select all of them, then go under UV and export UV layouts. We will actually export our UV layouts on 2048 and make sure that you choose PNG here for the Blender settings. So now we can just make UV pattern, then make the export. We recommend using a 2048 layout. So make sure that it is 2048 on width and 2048 on height. Then hit create. So we'll get our design artboard that get to be created. Once the artboard creates, drag and drop your UV pattern inside. So here is our UV pattern. So we will make sure to center it. So 10, 24, 10, 24. And then we have our pattern that has been centered on our canvas. Now, what we will do is to quickly add some filler. So we will add just a rectangle that will fill all the section. So one for the front, one for the back. Good. We can just put our design on top to be able to view. So we will be able now to just change the color. So this is the color for our front section. And then we can add some rectangle on the sleeve. So one here, and also we will just duplicate it and move it for the right sleeve. Move your design pattern on top to be able to see. For the color, we can quickly just add another one for it. So once this part is done, if you have any other design or any other element that you want to add to it, you can quickly change the color and just add any object that you want. So for example, we can have a line that goes from the left to the right and duplicate it. Good. So this is going to be our reference line. So now what we have to do for the name is to make sure that we have all the elements named. For example, from the background, we will name them primary for all our background elements. Then for those the rest of the elements, we will just name them secondary. Naming your design primary, secondary, accent, or accent 2, follow configure defaults naming section. But in case of you want to have a custom name for any section, for example, let's say you want to have this section name, for example, logo. What we will do is to go on the customizer and make sure that under asset settings, you have the logo zone that have been added. To do it, just add quickly logo, then give a name. So here it is logo. Then you can give any alias if you want. So I will just keep the same. So this is the default color that will be applied to section. We can keep it and we can choose wherever it will be on the SVG or the 3D model. So 3D, this means that it is a section that have been separated on the 3D part, named logo, but on SVG, that means that it belongs to the SVG file. And we can assign a color to it. So for example, we usually want a logo to be black. So I will just look for black. So for example, black Russian. And another one, which is, for example, pale pink. So this is the two color that will be allowed for my logo section. Then you have to save. Perfect. So now get back to your SVG file, and then what we will do is to just quickly remove the linked file. It has been used only for reference to know where to put each pattern. Then the next things to do is to save your file. So to save, just Control Shift S, then wait for it to prompt you to save. So we will save under design, and this is going to be men short sleeve t-shirt design 1. That's it. Make sure, this is really important, make sure to take use artboard. So use artboard is really important. We select SVG and we use artboard. This is mandatory. Otherwise your design will not work well. So then export. Okay, great. So now our design is ready to be used inside Konfiwear. Navigate to our design section. Then we will add a new design. So our design name will be, for example, man short sleeve design 1. Create. Once your design is created, we can quickly look for it here by doing man short sleeve, and then it directly pop up in the design section. Here we can add any description as we want, the source type or status. All of those one can be let as default. For the SVG, this is actually the most important part. We will just quickly select the SVG file. It is this one, and then import it to our model. So here is our SVG design that will be imported. For the preview, we can quickly have a quick screenshot for now for our design. So I will just make a quick screenshot. Here it is. So now navigate back to your designer and then add it. So this is going to be the preview of our design. So now our design has been set up for Konfiwear. Thanks.